It's Tuesday, June 2nd. In the headlines, the government welcomes aircraft carrier USS Nimitz to Kingston on friendship mission. In business news, workers encouraged to build retirement security. Regionally, Nevis pushes regional tourism and airlift expansion. In sports, World Athletics hands Kerry McLeod a 2-year ban. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The government has welcomed the arrival of the aircraft carrier, the USS Nimitz, to Kingston, calling it a symbol of long-standing bilateral relationship between Jamaica and the United States. Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, and Minister of Energy, Transport and Telecommunications, Darrell Vaz, received an exclusive tour of the vessel on the weekend as it made its way to the port of Kingston for what is being dubbed a friendship mission.
It's really just a symbol of the US-Jamaica friendship. We have a relationship that spans so many areas, from education to security to transportation, and it's a relationship that we value as Jamaicans.
Minister Morris-Dixon highlighted that the visit will offer a unique educational platform for youth, as well as hands-on community support.
This is an unforgettable moment, unforgettable day. Things that you dream about, that you're actually experiencing. Probably few civilians get this opportunity in a lifetime. And so I want to thank you. But more importantly, just to reiterate what Minister Dixon said in terms of our relationship with the United States of America, unshakable, unbreakable.
During its week in Jamaican waters, the USS Nimitz will host and participate in a series of community initiatives. The warship is expected to remain in the island until June 5. Jamaica has received an additional $2.5 million in humanitarian assistance from the United States Department of State to support recovery efforts following Hurricane Melissa. The announcement was made during the American Chamber of Commerce of Jamaica's Business and Civic Leadership and Corporate Social Responsibility Awards Gala at Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. The latest funding adds to more than $22 million already provided by the United States after the Category 5 hurricane struck the island in October 2025. AmCham Jamaica President Ann Dawn Young Sang says the response to Hurricane Melissa demonstrated the value of international cooperation and coordinated leadership during times of crisis. The event also recognized several individuals and organizations for contributions to business, philanthropy, and disaster recovery efforts, including Carl Hendrickson, Audrey Tugwell Henry, the Shaggy Make a Difference Foundation, the Sean Paul Foundation, and the Grace Kennedy Group. Private businesses are being urged to take cybersecurity more seriously amid growing threats from online attacks, data breaches, and digital fraud. Head of the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Sterling, warns that companies of all sizes are vulnerable. He made the call on PBCJ's Why It Matters show.
Businesses are going to tell you it's really about productivity and what will affect their bottom line to have these people who have failed their awareness test being in class somewhere, as opposed to if they're not properly trained, if they're not being aware, the danger to the business is far worse.
He says stronger security systems, employee training, and regular monitoring are critical.
Or you can continue to look at the human being as the weakest link in the chain. Or you can empower the human being to become the first line of defense through increased awareness, improved cyber hygiene, and an involvement in the process.
The JCERT head suggests tangible consequences for human error.
So even though they do awareness training, there's no penalty for failing. So you do the awareness training, you get a certificate, you sit at your desk, the phishing email comes in, you click on the link, oops, and you carry right on. As opposed to, oops, back to training, all your access is restricted and you have to go on.
JCERT is the national division responsible for coordinating responses to cyber threats and securing digital ecosystems across Jamaica's public and private sectors. Operating under the Office of the Prime Minister, its core mandate focuses on national cyber defense, resilience, and data protection. A University of Technology forum is shining a spotlight on what experts describe as a national crisis: child sexual abuse. The discussion brought together representatives from law enforcement, child protection agencies, the legal fraternity, mental health professionals, the church, and the media to examine gaps in the system and identify solutions to better protect Jamaica's children. Danita Rodney reports.
Held under the theme Strengthening the System, Protecting Our Children from Child Sexual Abuse in Jamaica, the forum highlighted the urgent need for greater collaboration among stakeholders. Acting Vice Dean of UTEC's Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies, Dr. Henry Lewis, stressed that child sexual abuse is not only a social issue, but a national concern that affects children's development, safety, and the future potential.
Because protecting children requires a collective responsibility. No single institution, no single agency, no single hero can solve the problems of children. Real protection demands coordination, a coordinated system, informed communities, accountable leadership, and a culture that prioritizes the safety and the dignity of our children.
Investigations into child sexual abuse are often delayed by underreporting, fear, and stigma. Sisoka's Inspector Florence Clark says cultural attitudes continue to discourage victims, particularly boys, from coming forward.
Especially for our male victims, naturally, man in a Jamaican feels to them for report that they were sexually abused. So our young men may have been sexually assaulted by a male or a female, and when they come, they are very reluctant to share the information. This too stalls the processes.
Psychologist Janelle Brooks says fear remains one of the biggest reasons children do not report abuse, with many worried about the consequences or believing no action will be taken.
Oftentimes in cases of abuse, the children are told, they're threatened, they're told, if you tell somebody I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And there's the fear of repercussion. I think there's also the fear of nothing happening. If they do report, if they do tell somebody, and nothing, that adult does not do anything to protect them, because I feel like, unfortunately, many children have witnessed that around them. They've heard the cases of, say so-and-so down the road, this happened to them, and then they're like, wait, but nothing happened. So they compute that, okay, well, if I say something, nothing might happen as well.
Participants agreed that protecting children requires stronger reporting mechanism, greater public awareness, trauma-informed care, and continued collaboration among schools, families, churches, law enforcement, and child protection agencies. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
In this week's Living Healthy report, we explore mental health and the importance of being aware of your mental state and knowing when to seek help.
The World Health Organization says a mentally healthy person accepts themselves with their strengths and their weaknesses. They can accept others for their strengths and weaknesses. They give back productively and fruitfully to their communities, and they are also able to deal with the daily challenges of life and have satisfaction from living. Those are the things that help you to determine if you're mentally healthy.
And in the same way we regard our physical health, the same approach is necessary to maintain mental health.
I have a phrase, there's no good health without good mental health. So our minds are what we use to solve problems, and this is where we are looking at. So if your mind isn't well, then physically you're also not going to be well. And sometimes we have mental challenges that manifest physically. So it's just as important when we look at overall health to make sure we include mental health.
There are some habits we must adopt to maintain mental well-being.
Stress management. What are the things that are a stressor to you? How can you respond better to them? How can you remove yourself from them, or how can you remove them from you? Flexibility is very important when it comes to your mental health. Self-care. When we talk about self-care, sometimes people think it's selfish. It's not selfish. You cannot pour from an empty cup. It's very real. So in order to give somebody the best of you, you have to make sure you take care of yourself. Other tips can include setting boundaries. So like work-life balance, when you go home, turn your phone off, don't check your emails. When you're at work, don't be doing personal things that get in the way sometimes, just boundaries. Learn how to say no is a very important one. I'm not saying being selfish, but the more you say yes, the less time you have for yourself and what you need to focus on. Recognize the different roles that you have. It's hard to be everything at the same time. And for some people, they may disagree, but I believe in prioritizing and not balance. Balance indicates an evenness. You can't always balance everything. So you may have to prioritize in the moment. What is it that's most important? And I'd say the last one is learn to listen to your body and your mind. If it needs you to do something, do it before it forces you to do it. Like when you're too exhausted and it needs to rest, rest before it rests for you.
Mental health challenges are real, as are the stresses of life, and the two often collide, having persons mistaking one for the other.
Stress is a normal reaction. It depends on how the stress affects us, and we have different stages of stress, but what's important is the stress management. So when you determine my response to the stress, it's what you need to focus on. Am I able to come up with a plan A, B, and C and respond accordingly? Do I feel too overwhelmed to address it any at all? And or does it stop me from functioning? One of the things is that we encourage the persons who are struggling to ask for help. Asking for help can be simple things. What if you just need some time to get some extra sleep? Perhaps somebody can help you if you have children, for instance, to drop them off and you could sleep. It could be as simple as doing a meal prep and preparing several meals ahead of time so you don't need to cook every single day. But family and friends too, it's important to be observant, pay attention to what's happening. We find ourselves very busy and caught up, and know that technology allows us to check in. Sometimes we're not checking in at all. So I encourage checking in. I encourage being there to help in the way the person needs the help. Don't turn up to do something that they didn't ask for, or they may not need, and then you complain that they're ungrateful. So if they want to sleep, would you babysit, or would you allow them to sleep? If they want to go watch a movie, would you still do the same thing and allow them to just go watch the movie? They just may need a minute. Are you able to follow them to see the therapist? Are you able to recommend that they go? Are you able to help them with medication if that's what they need? Are you able to just provide some groceries? Can you cook some meals and take them over?
And it is not enough to ask for help, but if you need to, get help.
There are mental health clinics in all our parishes. We have a suicide line and a mental health line at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and they also have an email address. We have Family Life Ministries that offers counseling. We have Rise Life, and they offer specific help for suicide and substance abuse.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. Barita-owned Cornerstone Trust and Merchant Bank and JN Fund managers have received regulatory approval to rebrand under the Barita name. The institutions have received non-objections from the Bank of Jamaica and the Financial Services Commission to rename as Barita Merchant Bank and Barita Fund Managers respectively. The move forms part of the wider restructuring of the Barita Financial Group following its transition to a licensed financial holding company structure. The company says Barita Merchant Bank is being positioned as Jamaica's first digital bank. Chief Executive Officer Designate of Barita Financial Group, Dane Broadburn, says the institution is focused on making banking easier, faster, and more seamless for customers. Current data indicates that participation in private pension arrangements hovers around 10%, with overall pension coverage across the country estimated at approximately 18%. This leaves a significant portion of the workforce potentially underprepared for retirement. Tanisha Anderson, pensions manager at Barita Fund Managers Limited, is optimistic about anticipated legislative changes under Phase 2 reforms, where employees may also gain the ability to contribute to multiple pension arrangements simultaneously. Anderson notes that a sustainable retirement outcome is best achieved through a balanced approach built on 3 pillars. 1. National Insurance Scheme, NIS, the foundational state-provided pension. 2. Private pension arrangements, which is occupational pension plans or superannuation funds and retirement schemes. And then 3. Personal investment portfolios, individual wealth building, and financial planning. For the trading period of June 1, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited with 62,496,960 units, representing 56.11% of market sales activities. Spurtree Spices Jamaica Limited with 16,549,110 units, representing 14.86% of market sales activities. Deramon Trading Company Limited with 6,977,445 units, representing 6.26% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in energy, distribution, and transportation plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for June 1, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $156.68 and buying at $158.44. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by 59-cent transaction spreads. Canadian dollar sold for $114.47 and was bought for $113.88. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of 72 cents in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $211.34 and was bought for $210.62. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, let's discuss the first 30 days of a 90-day credit roadshow for entrepreneurs. Before approaching lenders, entrepreneurs should get their financial house in order. Many financing applications fail not because the business lacks potential, but because documentation is incomplete or inconsistent. First, start by reviewing the following documents: your business registration documents, tax compliance status, financial records, banking, history, revenue performance, existing debt obligations, growth plans, and financing requirements. This first month is about clarity. How much capital do you need? What will the funds accomplish? How will repayment occur? Lenders fund plans, not hopes. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital markets and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, regional airline Liat Air and French Caribbean air carrier Air Caribes have launched a new interline agreement aimed at making travel across the Caribbean and Europe more seamless. The agreement allows passengers to book flights on both airlines under a single ticket through travel agents and authorized booking channels. Travelers will also be able to check their luggage through to their final destination without having to purchase separate tickets or pay additional transfer fees. The partnership combines Liat Air's regional network across the Eastern Caribbean, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and the Dominican Republic, with Air Caribes services linking Guadeloupe, Martinique, French Guyana, and Paris. Liat Chief Executive Officer Hafsa Abdullah Salam says the agreement will strengthen connectivity between English, French, and Dutch-speaking Caribbean territories, while providing easier access to Europe through Paris. Both airlines say the arrangement is expected to boost regional tourism, business travel, and economic integration by making inter-island travel more convenient and affordable. Regional tourism and air connectivity must receive greater attention if Caribbean destinations are to overcome long-standing challenges such as seasonality. That's the view of Nevis Premier Mark Brantley, who says the island is looking to regional travelers and major infrastructure upgrades to drive tourism growth. Speaking during his monthly press conference, Premier Brantley highlighted plans to expand tourism offerings and improve air access to the island. The details in this report from Glenn Bart.
Premier Mark Brantley of the Nevis Island Administration, who is the minister with responsibility for Nevis's tourism, expressed the view that regional tourism needs additional attention. The Premier was commenting on the matter in the context of the need to resolve some of the repeating challenges the island faces, especially the seasonality of the industry. Speaking during his May 2026 press conference in Charlestown, the Premier indicated that airlift is also an issue in regard to pushing tourism development on the island.
I think that one of the things we need to start to pay close attention to is developing our regional market. What we have found is that regionally, people travel for a variety of other reasons. So clearly, you're not leaving Barbados to come to Nevis for sun, sea, and sand and warm weather. You have that in Barbados. But you will come because there's music festival in St. Kitts. You'll come because we have the cross-channel swim. You'll come because we have a sporting event like we had the drag racing and the Masters cricket. You'll come because we have the Mango Fest or we have Culturama. So we're now trying to see how we can do more of that in terms of getting people to come from our neighboring islands. And things like the Mango Festival, which is intended to be a food festival, how you get foodies from around the region, around the world to come for that. So you have to pitch it at a particular level so that people are interested enough to travel and to build a holiday around that food festival. So I think that's going to be important. Airlift is also a concern. That is one of the reasons why we're so keen to get the airport construction in Nevis on the way. Incidentally, the team is saying that we should have a groundbreaking ceremony next month in June, so that we can proceed with that. Van Sammer International expansion, I think, will augment what happens at RLB. Will give us additional airlift, we hope. Additional routes, we hope. We see, for example, American Airlines flying from Miami to Anguilla and flying from Miami to Dominica and to Tortola. The aircraft they're using is what we're using as a design basis for the Van Sammer expansion. So we are hopeful using that Embraer model that we can get them to ultimately come here as well. So it means then that you could have flights direct from the US mainland to Nevis and to St. Kitts. Smaller flights, yes, but to Nevis and to St. Kitts, which increases the capacity and the ability for airlift.
Tourism experts believe upgrading the Vance Amory International Airport will bring additional tourism opportunities for Nevis. Glenn Bart reporting for Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40.
In sports, we lead off with athletics. Jamaican athlete Carrie McLeod has been banned for 2 years by World Athletics Athletes Integrity Unit for a whereabout violation. It was reported on Monday that two-time national men's long jump champion admitted to the anti-doping rule violation and accepted the sanction after missing 3 tests in a 12-month period. Reports are that he missed testing on June 30, 2025, August 9, 2025, and May 1, 2026. His period of ineligibility runs from May 28, 2026 to May 27, 2028. In cricket news, Cricket West Indies has announced its 50-member squad for the highly anticipated 3-match one-day international series against Sri Lanka, scheduled for June 3 to 8 at Sabina Park in Kingston, Jamaica. The series comes at the start of a crucial stage in the West Indies campaign for automatic qualification to the 2027 ICC Men's ODI World Cup. Led by Captain Shea Hope, the Men in Maroon team will also be aiming to extend their unbeaten home ODI series streak to 5 consecutive victories, with the last triumph coming against Pakistan in August last year. And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.